Hey guys, Jack on Race back with another video. So in today's video, I want to do a review similar to my last video, but this time of my Omega DeVille Quartz from 1981. I want to talk a little bit about how I got it, how I like it, and some of the pros and cons of having a luxury watch that also is quartz. So let's get right into the video. So let's take a look at this watch. This is a 1981 Omega DeVille, as you can tell and as I mentioned in the introduction. This is a very special watch to me, as I mentioned in my State of the Collection video, because this is my first real introduction into watches and Swiss watches. And I was given this by my grandmother, and this was a watch that was my great-grandfather's, and it has a lot of meaning to me and is very special. I also mentioned in that video that I wish this was a mechanical watch, which I suppose I stand by that, but I still don't want to undermine the fact that this is something very special and it means a lot to me, and regardless of it being a mechanical watch or not, this is something that is going to mean a lot to me and stay in my collection forever. The other thing to know about this watch is it was in great condition and still is, in my opinion, really good condition, and that's why the quartz movement is running perfect. I popped a battery in and that was really it. It also has a very interesting pusher at the 3 o'clock. This is something you normally see in watches that are calendars or have more different complications, because you need those pushers to change things like the month, the day, the moon phase, potentially, different things. And so it's very interesting that this dress watch has it. The DeVille line from Omega is the dress watch line, similar to how the Speedmaster is sort of a racing chronograph line of watches. This is the dress watch line, and I think it's a beautiful dress watch. 14 karat gold case, 14 karat gold applied indices, Romans at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. Printed dial, the Omega logo, DeVille Quartz, and the little Swiss made down there at the 6 are all printed. Just a little drawback. It actually originally came on this beautiful leather strap. I can't tell if this is original. I don't think so, because the buckle on it is not Omega signed, which could have been the case, but there's always a chance it wasn't Omega signed from the factory, but just still a nice little bracelet, little band. But a really cool watch. I'm a huge fan of it. It's obviously a dress piece, 33 millimeters on this one, and it fits that sort of dress watch very well. I'm more of a sport watch kind of guy, so I am, very blessed to have this, because it sort of, it gave me a dress watch. I didn't have to go ahead and buy one. I was given something, and it means a lot to me. And I think this is really special because I don't really wear it a whole lot because of its dressy nature, but in that regard, it also helps it stay in even better condition because I'm not banging around every single day. So the question is, should you get a luxury quartz watch or any vintage quartz watch? Well, I will say that buying vintage quartz from really anything, any brand, especially Omega or any luxury brand, it's definitely a crapshoot. It's definitely scary. I've bought quartz watches, and I've got them from, luxury brands on eBay, and I got them and they work perfectly. I've also had watches that I got and they were quartz and they didn't work at all, really. I mean, they kept ticking, but they didn't actually keep accurate time. And the problem is, as I mentioned in a previous video about buying luxury quartz watches, which again I'll link in the top right corner, once the movement doesn't really work or doesn't keep good time, you're going to have to just replace the whole movement, which is a very expensive endeavor, especially if it's going to be a luxury watch. Now, should you be buying any new luxury quartz watches? Well, you're obviously not going to have any problems with the movement, and you're obviously not going to have any issues in terms of, timekeeping or anything like that. But I will say, if you're keeping an eye towards the future and thinking a little bit more about, handing down a watch, I mean, if you're going to spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a luxury watch, you're probably thinking a little bit, at least, about keeping it for the long term, either for yourself or for a future loved one. And so I guess I would probably recommend just avoiding it. Now, if there's a good deal or something you really like, or you just want to potentially deal with those sort of costs down the line that are potential. I mean, they don't always happen. I mean, this is a 40-year-old watch and it's keeping great time, so you never know. But, I would just recommend not going that direction. Of course, you could always take the risk, but as someone who has gone through a lot of different watches and bought and sold a lot of luxury quartz, because it is a little bit cheaper, I can say that, you just never really know. I mean, if you can get a guarantee that the watch is moving, the movement is fine and everything's working real nice, then obviously you can take that chance, but that doesn't really get rid of the fact that you can potentially be having issues in the near future and you're going to have to replace the whole movement. I mean, this is a very thin watch. It's an Omega caliper movement, an Omega quartz in-house movement, and it's going to be needed to be sent to Omega themselves to replace it. And so for that reason, you just, for something like this, it's going to be expensive. It's probably going to be $300, $400, maybe $500 to replace the movement on a watch that, on eBay right now is probably worth $300 or $400 itself. And obviously this has a lot of meaning to me, and I would probably do it if this stopped working, but if you're just buying a random watch off eBay, do you want to do that? That's probably something you really have to think about. So that was my review of my 1981 Omega DeVille Quartz. Like I said earlier, what you should do in terms of getting a luxury quartz watch, it's going to be up to you. And if you want more information about that, I would watch my luxury quartz watch video that I made very recently. But it's always just going to come down to the risks you're willing to take, especially when you go vintage. I would really steer clear of that. But if you want to take a chance, of course, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed and leave any comments or questions down below. Also check out my Instagram @JackOnWrist for all photos of my watches. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching and please subscribe.